is, I think, true. And it's we've got a political class in Cambridge which is aloof and out of touch and wayward, and it's almost like they're not. They're the ones who have their head in all the wrong places. You know what I mean? They've got ambitions. They want to build big mega projects. They want to turn the Grafton Centre into a 7-story sort of skyscraper type thing. But again, not listening to the people, not taking care of the needs of the actual, just the basics of a city, which is what I think every city needs. It's like you have a house, you've got to clean it. You know what I mean? Otherwise it gets stinky, or like you've got rising damp. You've got to deal with it. If you don't deal with it, it gets uncontrollable. And anyway, that's where I'm kind of thinking at the moment, right? Does it sound reasonable? Yeah. I don't know how all of this will fit onto a pamphlet to go through the door, but I don't, honestly, I'm not running that sort of campaign. I'm doing it so that I can say these things and raise these issues, because this is what I've learned, and this is what I think people are resonating with strongest. And and another really strong theme that I've been getting told this a lot. I've been a Labour voter all my life, and I can't vote Labour anymore. This is what you said. This gets said to me again and again and again on the doorstep, and they just need an alternative, right? And so I'm standing to provide that alternative. Now, also, just so happens that I'm not just some like political wannabe guy. I actually live here. I know Cambridge very, very well. I have an ability to speak. I can talk to people. I can connect to people very well. I also understand how sometimes different ambitions and needs and wishes need to be balanced and negotiated and compromised, and I think that to me encapsulates what needs to happen with the bridge moving forward, if I want to bring it all the way back to the bridge. And I just think actually I got a letter this morning from Mill Road for People, right? Because I'm standing, they now obviously they want me to fill out their questionnaire. What do you think about this, that, or the other? How are you as a councillor going to help our campaign? And so I have to write back to them, but I'm really pleased that they wrote to me, right? So if you're in there, people from Mill Road to People, genuinely, my first thought was like, yes, I'm actually getting somewhere now, because from the beginning of this time of making these videos and asking these questions, they're the ones who've been the most icy and cold against talking to me, and I've wanted to talk to them and interview them and get to know them things, and they're the ones who've been keeping me at arm's length, or in fact not talking to me. But now they're asking me what I think, right? And so now is my opportunity to show them, like, look, I don't want to be this divisive character who's going to come along and make and like exacerbate the tensions and make them much worse. I want to end that. I want to help the people kind of get through this awkward, sticky time that they're in, right? And the thing is that, like I said, you have to balance different people's needs, and you have to recognise that there are diverse wants and ambitions and desires and things like that. And just, if you organise into 1,000 people, that's great, but that doesn't give you the right to necessarily expect more from the councillor than everybody else who hasn't organised. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because that's, you've got a voice, and I'll listen to you and I want to work with you. At the same time, you have to recognise that just because you've organised and campaigned for something doesn't mean that that's what you're going to get, definitely, if everybody else doesn't want it. You see what I mean? So I'm asking Mill Road for People, actually, to listen to me genuinely and recognise that this policy of the bridge has caused a big problem on Mill Road. I didn't start it. It wasn't my idea. I found this situation and I've been trying to help. And I don't actually think there's anybody who's done more to try to actually get to the bottom of understanding that problem and maybe bringing up some information which is useful to the public to know than me. And we should be working together, all of us, see. But I'm only going to stand if you accept that I don't want the bridge to close, but I want people from Mill Road for People as well to recognise that maybe if we all kind of back down a bit from our high haunches, we could get to a more amicable solution moving forward, which there are multiple of.
Well, I wouldn't want us to back down. I mean, it's really
No, well, look.
open or it's not.
Yeah, but it's not, the thing, like I said, I'm not going to, I don't want the bridge to close. I think that's the wrong thing to happen, and I think that the problems that will cause are so multitudinous, you know, that it's, you might as well just leave it open and leave it alone, right? But the thing is that they have this, well, I need to talk to them more about it really, but basically it's part of this whole reducing car use in Cambridge, you know, bringing down emissions and all this stuff, and it's like...
I don't understand how anything is going to happen other than diverting traffic
Well, yeah, exactly.
in other areas.
This is it. So one of their questions...
Surely the council should be doing free bus traffic for everyone. Let's get a good starting point, like free buses through town.
If I just, I would want to kind of like get to them and say what they want, or in their paraphernalia and their literature and stuff, is to improve Mill Road.
Yeah.
All right, that's a broad ambition. Doesn't mean anything really. Just improve the road. Okay, fine. But going straight ahead and doing the most extreme thing of just closing the bridge doesn't improve the road. It may be if that's your point of view, but there's so many other people who find that that's a disaster, really. So that's, to me, that's not an option.
Coldham's Lane will be ruined.
Exactly. Now, the thing is that there are ways that you could improve Mill Road, and
Are we
you know,
talking
make it.
congestion charge? Is that a way? Is that how they're? I mean,
They-
because
I think
they're
the-
not.
the two
No
things are
one's
linked.
saying about the congestion charge. All of a sudden, it's gone extremely
Yeah.
quiet on that
Well,
front.
they're saying. What do you think? They're saying the Labour. Excuse me. Labour councillors are now saying that the congestion charge is dead. It's gone away. It's not coming back.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the mayor and and now but they refuse to take it off the table, and there's always the prospect that they'll reformulate it and bring it back. And again, it's this thing about the trust. How are you going to trust that? And the
And where
fact
do you
is that
stand with the congestion charge? Sorry, because I don't know.
I was dead against it from day one. As soon as I heard about it, it got me angry. You know, actually, it kept me up at night sometimes. Which is the reason why I started making the videos, because at least actually I felt like I was doing something. I didn't know that we were going to be able to stop it, and I'm actually really proud that we did. Actually, do you remember? So we're going to go off track now a little bit. Do you remember the first time, the first meeting I went to was the Milton Road Library? Remember? It was Peter Blake, Eliza Machini, and actually Dave Bajan was there. I didn't know who he was at the time. And I managed to get one of my questions. I got my question asked, and I reflect on this sometimes because it was true right at the beginning. I cracked it right at the start. I said, "Is there any way you're going to drop this? Like, if everybody says they don't want it, will you drop it, or is it the case that this is happening whether we like it or not?" You know, obviously they didn't want to answer it, but actually that was right. And the only reason they stopped it was because their own political parties in the wider area told them to stop. They were going to do that. You know what I mean? Everybody was telling them how disastrous and damaging it would be, and it was clear that people didn't want it to happen, but they were just determined. Same attitude that's driven this bridge closure through, same attitude which wants to destroy Coton Orchard, same attitude, it's the same people. Actually, now that I'm starting to remember a little bit more why I'm standing, not only do I want to raise the bridge issue and drive it to a head and maybe hopefully get the kind of silent majority roused up a little bit so we can vote against it and make a proper representation against closing the bridge. Those people who tried to do the congestion charge, they've just been like, "Oh no, don't worry, we're not doing that anymore, it's fine. No, we're not doing it. It's fine, we listened, we're not doing it." No, but the thing is that you did try to do that. You tried, and you really, really wanted to, and the only reason you didn't is because you were forced to stop. Right? You can't just do that and expect there to be no consequences. You see what I mean? So people who are in that position, you know, Labour councillors and what have you, have become so complacent, taking the votes for granted. They think they just do whatever they like. The amount of lies they told, the amount of anger they caused, the amount of upset, you know. You can't just go back from that and be like, "No, it's fine." You know, no, you did that. and the consequences in a democracy is that you lose your seat, so you've got to get out. I'm sorry, but that is, I want there to be consequences for that. So I'm hoping that people will, you know, get the gist. And so yeah, where was I?
So can I just add to that, Will? In November, I listened to a debate in Alconbury, the new Shire Hall,
Yeah.
where the Conservatives actually suggested they had round-table discussions to bring ideas forward about transport policy in the county. And they were completely run out of town by the Lib Dem and Labour councillors. I recorded every speech on that, and I regularly email it to people, because basically all of them were saying, "Oh, the time was not right."
Yes, there you go. See, if they have an overarching ambition to get cars out of Cambridge, you know, they could say that the congestion charge is gone, but you're still going to try to get cars out of Cambridge. If it's not with a congestion charge, it'll be with something else. Anyway, I lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's a bit of feedback I got from someone. I met a really fascinating individual, and he gave me his contact so we can meet up again and talk. It's that there are so many other solutions for, you know, how you can manage the roads or improve the town and things, but these guys, they just can't be worked with. You know what I mean? Experts come along and try to offer their services, and they just go, no.